You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
That's another issue with the replays of these live things is like it always takes so long to actually get going, but fine, that's fine. But for future people, you can always find I set grawlixpodcast.com/live up to an actual page on the website instead of redirecting to our livecast page. So that is still a relevant link to suggest to people. It of course has a link to our Twitch channel, but also has our Twitch chat and video and channel like embedded in the page itself. So you didn't even have to go to Twitch. You could interact with us on the website. Of course, well, you have to still have a Twitch account to chat, but you know.
Right.
And it's working.
But we'll interact at anything, anytime.
We'll interact and react.
Live this thing, and we won't read. We can't read that many things. That's a lot of things to read. If you were to do all those things,
I struggle.
We have to focus on one.
I struggle with just the chat. Yeah.
Right. I don't get the old comments in my chat.
What comments? Oh, you don't
there's
get
no comments right now.
What? Your chat's jacked.
Yes, can't read. I can so read. I just read that. Moose that said I can't read.
That was pretty fast. Oh yeah, dude, the delay's not too bad because that's a pretty quick reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Word to your moms. We come to react to news. That didn't rhyme.
Yeah. We're reactors. Speaking of
now
reactors, there are some actors that are going to be actors again.
Oh my god!
In our news.
God, I forget. That's the headline story. That was the thing. I was like, oh, that's the lead right there, and I totally forgot about it until you mentioned it just now. All right. Well, I did my pimpage for the day. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. I don't know. I'll speak directly to Paul. It's weird now. Paul, I think there's probably like he still gets us talking at him, but he has no there's no responsibilities. he doesn't have to.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, the chat room is where it's at. I can see why Jasper was so fond of it. He claims that his phone wasn't working.
Right.
It's just fun. It's just
I have a feeling that was a convenient excuse more than a few times, or not. That might actually be really make him mad, but
it might actually be technical difficulties. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm arranging my 13,000 different windows here. 2 computer monitors is still not enough. I need more. One time, I've seen
that's good podcasting. Snorts.
I've seen lots of like crazy monitor setups, but God, who was it? Robert Rodriguez on one of the bonus like features of I think it was Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He's converted his garage, which is like a 2-story multiple. That was no garage. Never was that a garage.
Right.
But he converted his garage into a studio.
Production den.
And his music setup, like he had 2 computers to where like one over here and one back there, and he'd like wheel back and forth between them. But the one had like 6 monitors. It was like 3 up top and 3 down below. And I'm just like, I want it. You don't think you could use 6 monitors? I tell you what, I probably could.
Well, I mean, like if you're editing video, editing anything, I suppose you see like different cuts of the same thing, and you go, oh, that one.
And like, yeah, exactly. And if he was doing that, like music, you've got like your main arrangement. You got this instrument over here that you want to tweak settings on real quick, while this one's up here, like different synth setups and effects, dials and stuff.
Well, that makes sense. It's like having like a bunch of pedals.
Paul
for a
says,
guitarist.
screw it, go full Matrix setup. I just want jack it into my brain. Jack it right into the back of my brain.
I don't know why your brain needs a jacket. Is it cold?
Yes. Got chilly. Got
It's chilly in there.
chilly thoughts. Okay.
So cold. It's so cold.
Let's get to the big news item of the day.
Let's do it.
A CGI. Okay, I'm reading this from the LA Times. It's an actual newspaper. It's like a real actual newspaper.
No, it's fake.
Okay.
It's
Are there
failing.
any real
It's a
newspapers
failing
anymore?
newspaper, I'm sure. It is.
Aren't
Failing
they all?
New York Times.
The
Forget
failing.
them. Let's just move it to Florida. There's no taxes in Florida.
Now the original story. I had not heard of this till today when the backlash began, but I think this actually broke a day or two ago. But a CGI version of James Dean gets cast in new movie and sparks backlash, of course. So let me jump to like the main meat of this, because of course it's going to spark backlash, and I guess it depends on opinions, but it's probably not a wrong reaction to have to it. But so let me think here. People are making a movie called Finding Jack. It's a Vietnam era action drama. It's set to be released next year, 2020. And they have cast in he's not the main character, but like a side character. They have cast James Dean as this character. James Dean died in 1955. Totally, yeah. He's been dead 64 years.
Wow.
So
he'd be so old. He would be so old. He'd be older than would he be older than Eastwood? How old is Eastwood? He's old.
I'm curious about that. Let me find out. So what, Michael? Paul said no. See, this is the same argument, but I feel like this is taken to the extreme. So Paul says, so what? Michael Jackson and Tupac still show up at concerts. Agree, but like this is taking that same thing to the extreme. But first, Clint Eastwood, age 89. He was born in 1930.
Oh. See, he's old. He's so old.
And James Dean, it's pretty close though. That's pretty close.
20s. It was gonna be really almost the same.
31.
Yeah.
1931. He was born in James Dean. So Eastwood would be was a year older, and is many years older now. I don't know how it works. People die. I don't know what happens when you die.
That works.
Do you still age?
Yeah. He's still alive, so I mean, yeah, I guess he's older. Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm older.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Anyway, obviously what they're going to do, they're going to CGI James Dean in the role of this character of this movie, and then they're going to have a voice actor do his voice.
Oh, man, that really muddies the water. So is that what they did with... Okay, so... Moose is bringing up Princess Leia and Tarkin. Is that what they did with? Is that what they did with? Oh God, his name is escaping me. Cushing. Is that what they did with Cushing? Is they just got a voice? They didn't get a voice actor, didn't they? Like CGI his voice.
I mean,
like who gets credit for this? Somebody gets credit for
possible,
right?
But I feel like they probably still got a voice actor. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe not, but it's oddly enough, like the voice stuff is still like they're getting there. They're getting there, but
fake stuff
for in terms of like synthesizing representation of this person, CGI, like the visual aspect, I feel is farther along. But okay, he said possibly with clips. I mean, I'm an audio editor. I should know. You can cut new things out of existing audio. That's for sure. So maybe that is what they did. Well, the problem is in the future, no actors needed, Paul says. But the problem is like you're gonna get tired of that base pool of actors they keep using. Eventually,
right? Yeah.
I guess they'll just start using new CGI designed people like, any other medium that's not based on video or photographs of people.
So, I mean, like this, so does this get added to James Dean's IMDb page? I mean, like,
see, this is where, and I think the Michael Jackson Tupac thing is still applicable, but this is where it gets weird because, like, in terms of being able to do that, like Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, a little bit different. Like, I'm pretty sure she was probably signed on for these movies. So when somebody's like,
and that's a fictional character, like that's a pre-existing fictional character.
That's true. That does kind of make a little bit of a difference. I feel like it's weirder with Tarkin, but again, it is a character, a fictional character that they're basing it on, that this actor played. This is not an actor it's not like they're doing a sequel to a James Dean movie. They're just recast James Dean in this new role. But that's where I feel like these things get really weird. It's like that Bruce they've come quite a ways since then, but when they did that Bruce Lee CGI commercial, it was for like some alcohol or something, people got upset, and it's like mostly because Bruce Lee had no say in that. What if Bruce Lee doesn't want his likeness used for, I realize after he's dead, he doesn't own the rights to his likeness anymore. It goes on to his family or whoever, and they can do with it what they will. And that's the case here. Like, James Dean's family signed off on this. But James Dean had no say in this. Like, so should it appear on his IMDb? He really had no part in this. It's essentially, I don't know, it's kind of remix culture type situation to where the original artist didn't have any like say in it. They just recreated him from existing material and used him in a totally different way.
Right. Well, and like with the Tupac thing, it's like, I think in that situation, didn't they use like pre-existing performance? I mean, where it gets muddy is Michael Jackson. They put out that posthumous album where a bunch of producers that Michael had worked with in the past, they finished the tracks. So there's that one posthumous album of all actual stuff from Michael's vault, or at least Sony's vault or somebody's vault. But then they did a performance. They did a hologram performance of Michael to that song, which he clearly never performed.
Oh, okay. I see. No,
and so like that's where it gets to be like that. It's like, okay, well, he did, but he didn't put on this performance. They kind of cast him in a hologram performance of something he never actually performed.
No, yeah. I mean, that's kind of like you bring Tupac back in hologram form to perform one of his rap verses in a rap song. I get it. If you brought Tupac back in hologram form to sing the chorus in a country western song, like, would he be into that? I don't know. Probably not. And so that does feel like it makes a little bit of a difference. And in this case, it's like, would James Dean want to be in this movie? There's no way of knowing. Like, you can't tell. Right. You don't know. And that's where it becomes weird, where it's using a person's likeness in a way that they would have no say over. But then I guess...
And it feels like somebody should get credit for playing James Dean, but that's not the draw here. The draw here is not whoever's playing James Dean. The draw here is that it's supposed to be James Dean.
I think using the wording casting James Dean as this in this role really is what makes it super weird.
Right.
And maybe he wouldn't care. Whatever. He's been dead almost 70 years. So
right.
But that's where it's weird because how are they
He's as old as Clint Eastwood.
How are they going to credit him? Is it going to be like James Dean as this character, or I feel the more appropriate way would be the likeness of James Dean and this voice actor as this character, like, but they're not going to do that.
James Dean, the computer, and so-and-so the voice actor, and so-and-so the body capture.
Paul says, just wait for the Duke to make a comeback. And then he also says live action zombies. Kind of. Except, I mean, it's live action in the way that the new Lion King was live action, as in it's not. None of it's live action, but whatever. I mean, this thing. It's like they've done stuff similar to this, but it's always in smaller bits where there are, what is it? Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. I can't remember what actor it was, but they used. Yes, they are. They're coming to get me. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow used the likeness of an actor that, whatever, the movie studio had the rights to the movie, so they lifted this and they did some trickery to use the actor's voice. So I guess, yeah, that's probably is how they do this James Dean thing. But it sparked a little bit of this debate, but it was it was basically a floating head type, hologram type deal. So it wasn't where.
Oh, like Marlon Brando when they used him in the Donner cut of Superman 2.
Yeah. I don't know. It just gets weird. It gets really weird in a situation where it's not like. What I find odd about it isn't the thing of like it's disrespectful to the dead. It's like, well, my whole thing is like, is this what they would want though? Like, you're using something like their likeness, which is the only thing left of them, in this way that like they would have had no say. But then again, you could be really dark about it and be like, well, they're dead. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're right, but you don't want people molesting your corpse, I'm assuming. So it probably does matter a little bit.
Right. Well, and, like James Dean, like he's known for a pretty perfect body of work encapsulating what he did because he died so young. So what if this movie is awful? Just bombs.
That's the thing. Like,
it doesn't help out the legacy necessarily.
Here's some. First off, hold on. Let me see who's. I'm curious as to what these people have done other than this movie coming up.
Are they also the producers of Mandy?
No, you're trying to segue us. Don't do it yet.
No. I mean, we don't have to, but I'm just like.
I do want to get there, though. Did you watch that trailer?
I did.
Dude, it looks pretty sweet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have too much more. Finding Jack. The director's only ever done shorts.
I like shorts. They're just like pants, only shorter.
Shorts. He's written. Oh, that doesn't bode well at all. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's weird. Whatever. I mean, it's fine. The only other thing I really wanted to hit on is this quote from, I believe, it's one of the.
I was right. Captain America and Frodo had things to say, didn't they?
Well, first I wanted to get to the quote from, I believe, the director of the movie, Anton Ernst. Sorry, Anton. I'll just wait till 70 years after you're dead, and then I could use your name however I want.
However I want. And maybe I'll say your name wrong using your face.
Using your likeness. No, okay.
As long as your family's okay with it.
This is what he told the Hollywood Reporter, I guess. Quote, "We searched high and low for the perfect character to portray the role of Rogan, which has some extreme complex character arcs. And after months of research, we decided on James Dean." First off, James Dean wasn't a.
How does Joe Rogan feel about this?
James Dean, yeah. James Dean wasn't a character though. He was a person. Search high and low for the perfect character to portray the role of. That's a weird term. Whatever, semantics. But there was no one alive on Earth that you could possibly cast in this. What it sounds like is like the idea of doing this came first, and then they're like, okay, who do we do this with? Who can we get? I mean, James Dean's a good get. If you're gonna resurrect somebody, why not? But it's
James Franco. Isn't James Franco basically a long-haired James Dean?
He practically is James Dean.
Right.
Don't tell me he's not going to do your movie.
Right. Dude's got standards, sort of.
No, yeah, people, of course, were upset. This article cites specifically Chris Evans and Elijah Wood. They said, Evans said, this is Twitter. All news comes from Twitter, by the way, because this is like every news article on Earth now. Political, entertainment, it doesn't matter. You've got story, and then here's Twitter, and it's just a string of tweets. So here's Twitter. Chris Evans, I'm sure he'd be thrilled. Eye rolly emoji. I hate doing the news anymore. Okay. This is awful. Maybe we can get a computer to paint us a new Picasso. Probably. Or write a couple new John Lennon tunes. Yeah, probably. The complete lack of understanding here is shameful. Elijah Wood just said, nope, this shouldn't be a thing.
One does not simply walk into East of Eden. Oh, that was Sean Bean. Never mind. That was his character.
Somebody said resurrect James Dean with CGI and ask him what he thinks about Marvel.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Who would he play? I don't know. Ant-Man. James Dean is Ant-Man. Can you imagine?
No, I can't. No. Not really. It's such a, I don't know. This just kind of blindsided me because we all know. See, I'm sorry. Like we chat, and I still can't pay attention to it. There's one chat, and I just. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
6 feet low, because it's 6 feet under. That's a joke.
All right. Well, no, this story just kind of blindsided me, and of course, I think everybody knew it was coming. We've had this debate for years, and then like Disney doing it with the Star Wars peoples, like.
Right.
I'm so curious as to how, like, is it going to be good? Because I know, like, Star Wars, Disney's got tons of money. They threw tons of money at those CGI Tarkin and Carrie Fisher, and they looked okay.
It was mixed results. Like Tarkin looked pretty good, but for as short of a shot as young Carrie Fisher got, it was less convincing, I thought.
The problem comes down to, like, they feel like we can do these things, so let's, like, they need restraint. Be subtle. Just keep the camera back. Don't get up in their grill. They feel like they have to show it off. Like, we recreated this person who's dead with CGI. Let's see the pores on their skin. It's like, no, that's when it falls apart. Keep it back.
Right.
How you're filming everyone else in the scene. You don't have to get up in their grill. That's when it looks bad.
It's like when bullet time was a thing in the Matrix, and now everything has bullet time.
I mean,
you can't use bullet time anymore. It's such a trope.
I think that first, like, what do they call it? The Burly Brawl in Matrix Reloaded is a good example. The Matrix, crazy over the top effects, but it's pretty amazing, groundbreaking at the time. The Matrix 2 come around, and they're just like CGI everything. And that's when it starts to fall apart. It's like you get a little restraint. Pull it back. Hey, Carrie Fisher will only have 8 minutes in The Rise of Skywalker. I only really included this because it's kind of, I knew it'd tie into this story a little bit. But that's 8 minutes of her, like, actual footage that they had shot.
Right.
And apparently they went through and analyzed and looked at every frame and all the dialogue and figured out how they could work it all into this last, into The Rise of Skywalker, even though they didn't really have the story when they...
Oh, yeah.
Like, the story's changed.
Yeah, I had read some other clickbaity headline that said something to the effect that Carrie Fisher, the Princess Leia, was supposed to be the last Jedi or something.
Yep. So, slightly spoilery maybe. So, I'm getting this from comingsoon.net, and apparently Carrie Fisher's brother, Todd Fisher, had told Yahoo Movies, the truth is that J.J. Abrams was a great friend with Carrie. Abrams had an extraordinary sense of love for her. They had 8 minutes of footage. They grabbed every frame and analyzed it, and then reverse engineered it and got it into the story the right way. It's kind of magical, end quote. And then also said she was, basically what you were saying. She's going to be the big payoff in the final film. She was going to be the last Jedi, so to speak. That's cool, right? And then I had read something else somewhere about... No, maybe that was it, and I just misunderstood the first time I read it. But so are they not going to do any CGI trickery? They're just going to use the 8 minutes that they got? You think?
I guess so. I mean...
Paul says only 8 minutes. They could have done more. I mean, she died, but I guess that doesn't matter. You're right. They could have done more.
You know who they could have got?
Only 8 more movies worth of Carrie Fisher.
They could have got James Dean to play her.
Resurrect James Dean to play the resurrected version of Carrie Fisher.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I don't know who else you could get.
Likeness rights is a weird thing because this is kind of something I've thought about. Vincent Price is awesome, and he was in a lot of older movies, several of which that have slipped into public domain for one reason or another. Not because they're that old, but just because, whatever, film rights slip through the cracks on some movies.
Right. Especially with horror.
Can you just, snip his face out of that footage and use it in a thing? Because that footage is public domain.
I don't know how that works.
Can you do that so long as you're not like, Vincent Price is starring in this movie, but you can use the footage from it? I don't know how that works.
Is it just the story No, it wouldn't just be the story. I don't know.
Because I feel like the Last Man on Earth, I could be wrong, but I feel like that movie is in the public domain.
When that's what I was actually thinking of that one in particular. And it's like, well, then is I Am Legend technically public domain then? Or is it just that movie that happens to be public domain because it's got a slightly different title, but it's notably based on I Am Legend?
Yeah. Could you...
I mean, can you remake The Last Man on Earth and claim it as public domain?
I feel like you couldn't. I think it comes down look at music rights, even older songs that fall into the public domain. There are still 2 or 3 different levels of rights and ownership that you got to look at. A song might be in public domain, but if it was arranged, the arrangement might not be. If it was arranged a certain way, the sound recording of it isn't necessarily in public domain. So,
if the Philharmonic does a Beethoven, they suddenly have a new copyright.
You can't be well, this is Beethoven, I'm just gonna take that recording and play it in a thing that. It doesn't work that way. Or if they're this is Beethoven, but the composer, there's a few tweaks here and there, you can't copy those tweaks and be it's the same. It's all public domain. Paul wants, if they're going to bring back actors, he wants more Lugosi and Lon Chaney. That's what Universal should have done with their Dark Universe.
Oh yeah,
just
with
CGI,
their
all the classic
cinematic universe.
Yeah. Just remake all the Universal monster movies in CGI. Don't change anything. Just speed it up by 40%.
Except for Tom Cruise. Change him.
Put him in all of it. Make him
taller. He'd like that though. He'd like that.
He probably. No, he'd be you could CGI me, you could CGI my performance, but if there's any stunts, I'm doing them.
Exactly, yeah.
Tom, this is an animated feature now. Are there stunts?
I want to cling to the face of Mount Rushmore.
That's not in the original movie. It is now.
I don't care. I love her. Tom Cruise's greatest hits.
Wow, you almost killed me with that one. Oh.
I know, but Tom Cruise deep cuts right there. It's some risky business.
What's happening? Okay. You know what else is risky business? Anything with Nicolas Cage, maybe.
That's true. It is risky.
And Lovecraft.
Yeah. That's real risky right there. Especially when you add in a little bit of outer space colors.
Right? It's all very pink. But it's not pink because it's a Lovecraft story, so it's pink or some color I can't describe.
Right? Yeah. Not like the Aerosmith song. More like death. Or
yeah, so color out of space is what we're talking. It is definitely a fuchsia, actually. It's a purpley pink. Color out of space is what we're talking about. This is a trailer. The trailer dropped maybe yesterday, but I heard about it on Twitter just the other day. And it is based on the H.P. Lovecraft story. It stars Nicolas Cage, which is amazing because I'm all for Cage. Dude, I'll come around to Nicolas Cage if we keep getting horror movie Nicolas Cage. I'm all about it. When it was action movie Nicolas Cage, I'm not interested. Horror movie Nicolas Cage.
Even animated voice actor Nicolas Cage is pretty great lately because get more Spider-Man and Teen Titans Go to the movies, Superman.
Extreme facial expressions for everyone, Moose says. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever see those videos where people do the game videos. They're like, it's like Resident Evil 2 with the facial expressions at 5,000%, where they I don't know, they mod it or they tweak it so everything's super exaggerated and it makes these horrifying deformed smiles on everybody. That's just Nicolas Cage at 0%.
That's right. Yeah.
He's always at 5,000%. Also interesting because this is written and directed by Richard Stanley, who is a director who's not been doing work for a long time. I don't know what happened to him, but he did a movie called Hardware, like a sci-fi horror movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Island of Dr. Moreau was the one that I looked at the list and I was like, oh yeah.
He did that. Well,
that movie was trippy too. I mean, obviously source material's trippy, but it's like, no, I really need Marlon Brando in his weird phase to come out of retirement and do this movie.
That was kind of the movie that stopped him. He did a bunch of so he was uncredited because he was the first director on that movie. He got fired. There's actually kind of a bunch.
Okay.
I think there's a documentary about it, but it's kind of a fascinating whole scandalous story just about all the goings on. But since then, he's done for the most part some shorts and a bunch of documentaries. So this looks to be the first feature other than documentaries that he's done since then. So maybe he got put in director jail. He was blacklisted for a while. I don't know. He also did Dust Devil, which is kind of a weird, I believe it's a weird sci-fi horror type thing. But Hardware and Dust Devil, Dust Devil is what I thought it was, are interesting and weird and kind of cool. And those are the movies that I think of when I hear Richard Stanley. But yeah, Nicolas Cage, the trailer looked good. What'd you think of the trailer?
Yeah, it looked trippy. I mean, it's a suitable. Is this the first movie he's done since Mandy?
No,
starring role, or has he been working pretty regularly?
Man, Nicolas Cage is always doing stuff. Let me look though. Look.
I know he does a lot of voice work. I mean, you'd just be like, oh, there's Nicolas Cage again.
Dude, he's got 1, 2. Oh, he is doing a lot of voice work. He's got 5 movies in pre or post production.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Wouldn't have guessed that at all.
But Nicolas Cage
should have.
Dude, Nicolas Cage works, and you're right. He does a lot of voice work. But in 2019, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies listed for him. Dude works. Yeah. He does quite a bit. He pops up in stuff that I've just never even heard of. He's kind of gone actually looking through his IMDb, as soon as it hit like the 2000s, I guess the mid 2000s is really when he started working like multiple movies every year.
Right.
Interesting.
Right. It seemed like he would just take anything for a while there. And it was like, okay, if he's in it, it's probably bad. And then it like flipped again. And suddenly it was like he was taking really bizarre stuff.
I'm still baffled by that when he became the action star. Maybe that started with like Con Air. It probably did. Yeah.
Con Air is the one that really launched it. And then he just kept going with it. And then he was like Face Off and...
Oh, no, that's exactly it.
The Rock. Was it The Rock? Which came first, The Rock or Con Air?
The Rock. Paul says Con Air to National Treasure. Yeah, The Rock in 96, Con Air and Face Off in 97. The late 90s, he had a bunch of big hits that weren't all necessarily action movies, but like, you know, City of Angels was a pretty big hit. Snake Eyes was famously not a big hit.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds. And then you get into the weird period of like National Treasure, Lord of War, the couple of odd ones, Matchstick Men and The Weatherman, The Wicker Man. He was in one of the Grindhouse segments, one of the fake trailers. Wow.
Okay. Was he?
Yeah, he was in the Werewolf Women of the SS, uncredited as Fu Manchu.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway. Baffling this guy is. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say about the trailer, but I thought it was interesting. Paul says a very weird version of Wicker Man. Yes, it was. Jesse, okay, so you've based on I won't lie, most of these stories aren't that fascinating. Based on the headlines, which one do you think we should tackle next?
Let's talk about this AMC one. I mean, there's not much to say about it, but it's interesting because AMC theaters say that movie attendance is actually up in 2019. I mean, that is both surprising and not surprising because it seems like there's been a handful of movies, but they've really brought people out in droves. The thing that also makes it interesting to me is that what was it? Last year seemed to be the slow, painful demise of Movie Pass. And then AMC swooped in with their new thing. And so I wonder if that has anything to do with their uptick in attendance.
Well, this article from cinemablend.com, AMC theaters say movie attendance is actually up in 2019. They say that's one thing that seemingly may help contribute to it, or at least helps to drive attendance to AMC theaters. It's interesting that succeeded and Movie Pass fell hard. Like when they fell, man.
It's because of the network thing. Because when it worked for me, I loved it. But then it just like once it started faltering, it was all done. It was all over. I think I was able to use it twice once it started messing up.
I feel like, and of course I don't know the ins and outs of it, but Paul, you drop F-bombs and the auto mod's gonna try to reject your comment. I'll let it pass this time.
Uh-oh.
Add permitted term. Well, maybe I probably shouldn't have done that.
Oh, did you allow it?
Ooh. I just wanted to like allow the
forever.
Comment. I can change it. I'll change it later. Can I? Whatever. I'll figure it out. Twitch, dude. Twitch is still so new to me. Like, there's so much I don't know how to do. But he says, could it be because AMC and Disney own every automod censored thing? Can't I just do that? Have it just censor the F-bomb in there? Oh, well. But I was saying I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there were some bad decisions on behalf of MoviePass, but I feel like it fell apart for them in a way that they just couldn't salvage, not necessarily like malicious steps they took. Like, I feel like the system, they probably got boned just like their customers did.
Right. I feel bad for him because it is a great idea, and it is going to make AMC a lot of money. And they built it. I mean, it's essentially their idea. They figured out how to do it. They just didn't figure it out well enough because it ultimately collapsed in on itself.
But yeah, in case you guys are wondering, you're not, but in case you are, according to third quarter earnings report, AMC reported a loss. Oh, wait, no, I'm jumping too far ahead. For the third quarter of the company's fiscal year. So basically, attendance rose. In the U.S., attendance rose to 61.7 million patrons, up from 58.9 million the previous year. For, was it that quarter? The third quarter, maybe? And the international market grew a little bit as well, up to 26 million versus the 23.7 million. So, whatever. It's some growth. It's really mainly notable because for years and years, attendance has been down, like, consistently. Movie theater attendance is just slowly decreased.
The interesting thing for me is I've gone to less movies this year probably than I have in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's the opposite. Like, I'm not going to more.
Yeah, same here. I don't know. I feel like there were definitely, not to say like this single hand, it's not that Marvel wins everything, but like there were a few big tentpole movies that hit this year, like Endgame, to where like they've been building up towards that for a long time. So that probably helps, The problem is that.
Well, then Tarantino came out with a new movie. That was one that a lot of people were going to go see. What else?
Joker movie. I don't know if that's counted. I feel like we're probably in the fourth quarter now, but like the Joker movie is doing amazingly well, and that still kind of surprises me because I'm honestly not hearing much about it, but it's, I guess, great and making all the money. It's making all the money.
Right.
But like when Deadpool came out and made all the money and they're like, rated R comic book movie, it's breaking records, like it's amazing. You heard about Deadpool, and maybe it's marketing. Like Joker, they're like, we don't have to do marketing. It's doing itself. But like Deadpool, I heard about everywhere. Joker, like there was a lot of hype building up. It came out and then I heard like nothing. But it still does well. It has been doing extremely well. So I guess that's off topic. Sorry.
No.
Have you seen it yet? I haven't.
No. And that's the weird thing is we were all in on the trailers. Like we reacted to all the trailers and everything. And then it came out and.
No, yeah, I was hyped about it. Okay, Paul, sorry, catching up on messages here. MoviePass suffered the curse of the Wii, set up a good system, someone else perfected it. The Wii, really? The Wii did gangbusters for Nintendo though.
Yeah.
But he also says Joker is really effing good, and he said effing so that the auto mod didn't catch it. Good call.
Played.
Well done, sir. R1 chatter. Where you all at? It's not a live show until Randy's begging for people to join the chat.
There we go. We've checked the box. We've now talked about Marvel movies, and we've got to beg the chats. I've made puns. What are we missing?
I need to complain about Livecast. That's become a staple too. Well, here's the thing. Livecast would have crashed on us 30 minutes ago. We're streaming HD video. It's been an hour. Perfect. Perfectly fine. This went better than a call with Trump. It's perfect. There, and we got our little Trump jab. So
there we go.
We got it all in.
We've been dancing around
Boxes
it.
Checked.
Just boom.
Okay. FX shows to stream exclusively on Hulu. I guess that's not a big surprise. It's all owned by Disney, including Hulu and Fox for the most part. But yeah, they have a deal, including some new FX shows that will premiere exclusively on Hulu. So that's basically, I mean, the thing, like, the article from IndieWire.com is like, FX programming is officially coming to Hulu with the blessing of Disney, their shared parent company. The basic cable network and streaming titan have blah, 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 blah. Disney's like, go to Hulu, which is part of Disney Plus now. So it benefits them, because if you get Disney Plus, you'll get Hulu as well. If I remember correctly. I think so.
Yeah, I'd also heard that you can just like add Disney Plus to Hulu. Like it works both ways somehow. I don't know. Maybe that's different. Maybe that's changed.
If it costs the same or close, why would you not get Disney Plus?
Right.
If it's has Hulu combined with it.
Yeah.
Just Paul points out
to add it.
Does it finally? Paul says Disney Plus drops next week. Good.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Like a week from today, I think. I think it drops on the 14th.
TV coma, here I come.
Oh, I'm wrong. 12th.
Well, see, I mean, I say good. While meanwhile, Netflix executives are probably like readying themselves at the windowsill to jump. But I'm just tired of hearing about it. Like, just come out and be done with it. Yeah. Be out there. Yet here I am talking about it.
I'm curious how it's going to work in terms of like the way that Netflix kind of is established, and they can just roll out new things. They've announced like a huge slate of things for Disney Plus. Are they going to roll these things out gradually, or are they just going to drop it all on us?
I'm assuming they'll drop a bunch of things, but did you see that Twitter thread they did? It's basically, look how big our package is. They started a Twitter thread and kept adding comments to their, because you keep adding more to a tweet. And each one was a picture and just like a new or a show that they're adding. A lot of old shows, cartoons and different stuff from everyone's childhoods, because they own everyone's childhoods.
And I imagine that will just be available. Like you'll just get access to an archive there.
And it was like hundreds long. It just kept going and going and going. It's insane. Who had to do that for him? That poor guy or girl. Poor intern. Had to put together all these images. Oh, God.
They were probably paying to do it. It wasn't even like an internship. We're like, no, I'll pay you to let me do your Twitter.
Right? It's a poor guy on Fiverr or something.
Oh God!
Wouldn't that be some crap? Disney, Disney
owns Fiverr, and they're like, "You're paying us now."
Yep. We own Fiverr now.
But if you pay to do our Twitter, we'll let you into the parks, and that'd somehow be a deal.
Paul says new shows will air weekly. Otherwise, it's supposed to be chunks of content. I think the streaming and Netflix is going to follow suit. I mean, they've already experimented with this. I think they're all going to follow suit. They're going to stop binge. They're going to not stop the binge watching trend, but it's going to go back to releasing a new episode every week. Because
I like how YouTube's doing it with Cobra Kai. Like, if behind the paywall you can get the whole season, but now they're releasing. Because I got to get a Cobra Kai. There, I checked the last box.
Yep.
I didn't mention a Cobra Kai thing. Now I did. So now finally season 2 is out for the people for free. If you're watching it with ads, unless you paid. If you paid, you had access to the whole season and no ads. Which I think that's kind of all right. No, of course they're not going to give Parker, not for free. Cheaper. It's a discount because you're already paying a part of it.
Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye was originally going to get his own MCU movie. Yeah, I threw this in there because it seemed like a Grawlixy story to do.
As a bonus.
Yes. They've got to keep the pun strong.
Go.
The pun game. Infinity puns. Okay. What?
The timing gem.
I must say, I don't know. I'm sure if he is chimed in on this, He's not going to say anything bad about the company that owns him.
Oh no!
But
does he have a TV show coming up? Is on the Disney Plus model now.
Well, that's exactly it. Like originally, because now that we're actually getting a Black Widow movie, all the original Avengers would have had their own movies, including Hawkeye, and then they decided, we're going to turn that into Hawkeye's going to get his own series. He's not going to get a movie, but he was like, they had a deal in place for a Hawkeye movie. So
right.
Jeremy Renner was down for a Hawkeye movie, and then at some point they're like, Disney Plus show. And so, well, Feige, this is according to cinemablend.com, Feige said he totally got it and said, let's do it. What else is he going to say?
You're right.
F you, buddy. And I don't know if this article goes into it. I seen another article and the only thing I saw was just a quote that Feige said he was nervous when he, about Renner's reaction when he approached him about it. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm sure at some point, and maybe not, maybe he's like, yeah, series, that's good. Let's do that. The longer term job, I don't know how it works. Probably not. It's probably lower pay, but I'm sure Renner was not thrilled to learn. And it's like, oh yeah, that big Marvel movie that I was going to be the lead in. Oh, it's a TV show on your new streaming service now, huh? Okay.
Right.
What kind of budget and paycheck do I get out? What kind of budget has this show got? What kind of paycheck do I get out of it? Maybe he doesn't care. But
would that be like? I wonder how that changes their contracts. Like, because if you're contracted to do films, then this wouldn't count, would it?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't think so. I think it'd be a new. I'm sure they can change the terms, like renegotiate new terms, change the deal. And since it's Disney, they're probably just like, whatever. Well, here's a couple $100,000 because we changed the deal.
Right.
I have no idea how that
sense.
works behind the scenes, but I'd be kind of fascinated to know though, because like, and not to be rude, but Renner's not one of the top tier guys in the Marvel franchise. In fact, like, if you think about it, him and, of course, I know the Hulk situation is different. Like, that's tied up in different stuff. But
right.
Renner and this specific version of the Hulk, what's his name?
Ruffalo
Hulk. Those two actors specifically not getting leads in their own spin-off movies kind of makes sense because they're the two. I mean, Ruffalo,
most co-starry Avengers of all time.
Right? Yeah. They're when Avengers came out and those two are in it, and I like them. I like them both, but they both are like, oh, like we got a whole bunch of movie stars and then the TV stars. Like they seem like the TV guys, right?
Yeah. It's like so it's like West Coast Avengers, but it's like co-star Avengers. That's a new team. Co-star Avengers starring Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, starring Mark Ruffalo as Hulk with one arm, starring Hawkeye, who can miss, I guess.
Occasionally. Yep.
I mean, he misses out on hit roles in his own movie.
That's the role in his own movies is one thing he didn't hit. Okay.
Lame ducks. Paul says it's lame ducks is what I'm aiming for. No, that would be the co-stars in the Howard the Duck show that will be going to Hulu that Kevin Smith is helping produce. That's what the lame ducks would be.
Oh, yeah, Paul says maybe depending on the lawsuit between him and his ex. I mean, that's the kind of story we usually don't get into, but yeah. Obviously, he's having dramas, issues, so it happens. Maybe if they give him his own TV show, he wouldn't threaten to kill people in himself. Feige, maybe you were right to be nervous when you told him he wasn't going to get a movie anymore. Ooh, backing off now. What else we got? Dude, that's super rude. That's super rude.
Jurassic World 3! Jurassic World 3, quick! Abort!
This is such a non-story, too. Jurassic World 3 will bring back 2 more familiar faces. Because in addition to the classics, like Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill, who I am actually amazed that they're bringing back all 3 of these people, There's gonna be 2 more familiar faces from.
Gee, I wonder who's left. Could it be the kids?
Nope. No. God, it should be right.
Right.
They're like the only ones. No.
Eh?
It's people from the second Jurassic World movie. It's like, who cares? Nobody's seen that.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
I haven't. I have not. I didn't hear good
It's
things.
the Jeep. Didn't the Jeep come back for the first one?
It did. It was a big plot point that they come across the original Jeeps. That's how ridiculous these movies are.
Oh, it's the Jeep again.
Oh man.
Well, I guess that counts as a familiar face, though. If people from the second movie count as familiar face.
Here's a new segment, part of our news segment. We're gonna react at the reboot.
Oh boy.
Because I was on a huge kick for a couple weeks. It's like I'm just tired of hearing about reboots. But these are not super exciting. This one is a little strange to me because the show's not really all that old, but there's a possible Weeds revival on the way.
Yeah. Huh.
I never finished Weeds. We watched it for several seasons, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Once they moved out of the suburban area, though, I was kind of like, it kind of lost some of the quirk or the appeal to me. But
Right.
But the little boxes on the man, yeah, that show was pretty cool. But apparently there might be a revival, that Weeds 1.0. Is that really what they're calling it? No, that's probably just what they're referencing it in this Vulture.com article. But it would pick up 10 years, pick up with the Botwin family 10 years after the events of the original run. Oh God, Weeds is that old though, isn't it? Or am I just that old?
Not as old as James Dean, but old.
Nope. I mean, they don't have to CGI.
No.
What's her name? Mary Louise Parker.
None of the weeds are actual weeds anymore, because all the weeds died. It's just cartoon weeds now.
Cartoon weeds would be interesting.
Paul put weeds rehashed.
Dude, oh my God, that's actually really good.
Aww.
If they don't, they kind of need to. If they don't call it that,
they should at least utilize that hashtag. I mean, come on. Ha!
Oh. And then the other one, I really don't care about because I didn't care about the original show. I didn't know this was a thing, but they had resurrected Beverly Hills 90210, and they called it BH 90210, which is just awful. It's not coming back for a second season.
Yeah, I saw that on my feeds. Someone else shared it too.
Shocker. What, you mean one of these old shows they resurrected didn't make it to season 2, just like they never do?
And Luke Perry's not around. So like
Wait, was he in this before, or is this show too new for that?
He was going to be. He was going to be in it, but then, he unexpectedly died, but he was down for it.
I really liked him. Oh, what did they do in Archie? I fell off of Archie. Is that what they call it? Riverdale. Because they can't call it just Archie. That's not hip. No, yes, I was on a Riverdale kick for a while. I did fall off. I'm curious as to how they handled it, but I really liked him in Riverdale. It was good to see him. I liked him in as he got, I liked older dad Luke Perry. I thought he was pretty good.
Right. Yeah, no, he's pretty good. Paul says to James Dean him, another person that was basically living off of the James Dean idea. I mean, him and Franco. Dude, he was the pre-Franco. You're
right, though. He totally, thinking back to it, he was like the 90s James Dean, just not as James Deany. The TV James Dean. He did a little
higher forehead is all.
The 90s was still when because I made that distinction about Renner and what's his name feeling like TV actors, and nowadays that doesn't really mean the same thing. But it used to be no, TV was second tier, and he had a hard time breaking out. He was in Buffy and maybe some other things, but he had a hard time breaking out of TV. Luke Perry, that is.
Right. What was he? He was on a show called Jeremiah that I tried to watch for a while. I don't know that we ever finished it.
I think I've
had
heard
some
of it.
Interesting post-apocalyptic future type of vibes to it. You could binge it, but yeah, we just didn't get as far into it. Or maybe we did. Maybe we finished it and it was just totally unmemorable how it ended. I don't know.
Am I seriously drinking Monster at 9:30 at night? Oh, that's a terrible idea.
Oh man.
I was dragging though. Like the stream was coming up and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, this isn't gonna do.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your talk about.
Since we kind of stopped there, is your audio changed on me? I'm curious how it sounds to the feed.
Interesting.
Paul.
Also, Paul.
Sounds more like a Skype call to me all of a sudden than it did.
Oh, weird. Paul also said that unrelated, the response time is much closer here than on Castbox. That's fascinating to me. But then again, Twitch is massive. They have way more of a budget to refine their whole back end than Castbox does.
Sure.
Okay, he says he agrees on the.
So your audio did change at some point. I don't know if mine changed as well, but it sounds different to me at a certain point. I don't know if your mic settings changed.
I touched nothing.
Okay, I know your mixer has been giving you headaches.
No,
so I didn't know.
I'm sidestepping it. I actually replaced it. So this is not going to be interesting to anybody listening later, but yeah. So my mixer was putting out horrible static, and I did finally replace it. I switched it out for my backup mixer, the one that's still totally decent, except it doesn't have an on-off switch. And I hooked it up, made sure to hook it up the right way because there's so many cords. I had to it was basically 1-to-1, so I didn't forget how the hookup goes. And then I plugged it into the external recorder and plugged my headphones in to see how it was working, and it's putting out static. And I'm like, what?
Oh.
And then I look at the external recorder. No, it was just a stupid little... I had it set for microphones that needed phantom power instead of just a line in. And then I switched it off, and it went back to normal. I'm like, I'm an idiot.
So the mixer was fine?
So the mixer's fine. So that's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's good.
But I went for weeks thinking my mixer had crapped out because I forgot to check this one little switch on there. But I didn't know having that switch on would put out a horrible static through it. I assumed it was just from the mixer. That was interesting to no one. Not even me. That's it. That's all I got for stories. There's no other good ones. So, hey, Jesse, what's new, man? What's going on? What's happening?
Pimpage wise, or
nah, just whatever.
Oh,
what's new?
Well, I got a show this weekend. I'm going to a Quidditch pitch. I don't know what you call it. Quidditch is the fictional sport in Harry Potter. For those people that don't know, it's coming to Papillion. It's like a real thing. People run around with like a broom. It's like the sports version of a broom, and they run around like they're playing rugby, sort of on brooms. It's crazy. I don't know. They made a legitimate sport out of a fictional sport, sort of.
I know they do this Quidditch thing, but if you can't fly, what's the point? That's what made it cool in Harry Potter. That blows my mind.
How do you catch the snitch? There's no blood. I can't imagine that there's bludgers. Bludgers were the magically enchanted balls.
What did they do
for lack of a better word?
What did
they would try to knock you off your broom.
And they put one of those balls that has the motorized weight in there, so it's all wacky. You just throw it out there, try to catch it.
What was that called?
Exactly. So Weeble balls, just whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah. Who says so? Lacrosse meets rugby. The video kind of looked like that. I didn't do a deep dive because I kind of want to go into this with fresh eyes. I kind of knew that someone was doing this, but I guess I didn't realize when when I found out that we were doing this event, I was like, oh, cool. It's basically like one of those Yule Ball events or whatever, just not quite at Christmas. They're just beating the rush. And then I'm beating because there's a beater. Whoa. But then I looked it up. Yeah. I looked it up and it was like, it's like a legit league or whatever. And they have like different tiers to the event. And it looks much more like going to a soccer tournament than going to a con. And so I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. I'm both excited and intrigued, and also like a little concerned that this is not going to go well, because it's like, I don't know. I guess I just don't know about this cross section of the Harry Potter fandom that is super duper sporty. I like to read books while I'm running.
Paul's making bad jokes.
Oh, geez.
They're fine jokes. But
this
it's like a prison game.
Yeah.
Catch the snitch. Okay, so I was going to say, I make fun. I like, whatever, had a rant, but I know this is a thing people do, and I'm impressed that there were enough rules established in the books that people can actually turn it into a sport and play it. But again, like the first time I ever heard that people actually play Quidditch, I was like, but you can't fly. So I'm not interested, because that's what made it cool. That's what made it dangerous.
I was watching the video, and it was like they're basically running with like a stick between their legs, though, too.
No! Did they really do that?
Like they're trying to simulate the broom, they have to hang on to this faux broom. But then there was like somebody else that didn't seem to have a broom, and I was like, well, how's that guy there? He's not flying. He didn't bring his Nimbus whatever 4000. He doesn't have it.
That's like grabbing one of those horse sticks, one of those toy sticks with a horse head on it that people used to have, and like sticking that between your legs and be like, I'm horse racing. This is how we horse race. It's like, that's not real. It's not real. You're playing a child's game.
Right. Well, and in the books, like the different kinds of brooms, depending on what kind of broom you had, you could go faster, I think. It was like, so
if you get like this color broom, you like have to go 10% slower.
It's like LARPing, but for Harry Potter
like
jocks.
A panel of like what would they be? Refs on the side with speedometers.
Fireball.
Lightning bolt. That's an old meme.
Nimbus 4000. Now I get to move 7 yards faster than you, so you have to back up 3 paces while I hit this quaffle.
In a way, I guess now that I think about it, it's kind of like the ultimate nerd's finger to sports. They're like, yeah, we're nerds, but we can still play sports, but we're not going to play any of your stupid sports. We're playing Quidditch.
Oh.
Playing Harry Potter.
And I'm only doing this because if I don't, my heart might explode. Actually, my heart would probably explode if I tried to play this sport.
Yeah.
I'm not running much of anywhere, let alone with a fake broom between my legs.
That's pretty interesting. I'm very curious to. Yeah, I bet it's cool. I bet it's a cool experience, though. You have to let us know.
I'm going to be entertained as heck.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the right reasons, but I'll be entertained.
I wonder if I can change.
Oh, man. You be careful what you wish for, Paul. That we might have a little bit of Ram Man's Wild Worlds of Sports live streamed on Saturday. We'll see. Are you not entertained? Oh, I will be. So that's like the main thing that's on the horizon for me this weekend is that.
Yeah, that sounds cool, man. Yeah, man, I don't really have much else to report that doesn't get into pimpage territory. Oh, except I do want to say almost pimpage territory is I wish I'd have known you were going to be on Covert Nerd, because for Grawlix Podcast, I released a best of live episode. in which,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
left in the part where I was talking about my, at the time, upcoming Covert Nerd appearance, because I also will be on Covert Nerd here before long, because I just recorded an episode with him.
I caught that.
And then that week, I see a post is like, Jesse joins us from Grawlix Podcast. I was like, what?
Yeah. No, I knew that it was coming up, but I didn't know when it was going to go live.
That's true.
So, then I kind of forgot about it, Like, I mean, I knew it was coming out, but it's, you record the thing, you go on with your life. We haven't had a live Grawlix in a while, so I didn't think, oh, yeah, I need to promote this thing. And then it was up, and I was like, oh, promote this thing.
Well, I mean, Lee obviously has, I mean, I was surprised because, I had recorded like a day or two prior and then seen that like an episode with you went up. So he obviously has a backlog of stuff, which is a smart thing to do. It's a smart thing to do as a podcaster. Nope, very few of us do it, but we all should do it. Especially if you're going to pay somebody who has to edit it the night before.
I don't know what that's like.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I feel like if you're paying somebody to edit it, you feel less inclined to do it right away because you don't have to edit it, I guess. Anyway, no, Lee obviously has a backlog of stuff. So, I never know when, like the Super Nintendo episode and the one coming up, I didn't know when it was coming out. But, these episodes are always great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like how he bounces around to topics too, and they're always like a kind of an interesting slant on something. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, I wasn't expecting you to talk about that. Like the rest. Like I went on to talk about wrestling, and it was like, I wouldn't have expected that for the next Covert Nerd. But that's what's kind of cool about his show is that it can be kind of open ended, and he can just be like, all right, today we're going to talk about this. Today we're going to talk about video games. Today we're going to talk about some other thing. Now we're going to talk about Middle Earth, and then we'll circle back to some of this stuff.
I will have the link for Jesse's episode, in fact. I think we can actually do links in the chat on this platform. I could be wrong. Yeah, that looks like it linked up. It even pulls in the description and stuff. Cool.
New rules, pimpage, all day, every day now.
Yeah. Pro Wrestling Memories, episode of a Covert Nerd podcast. Cool. Awesome. And I did start listening to it.
Wrestling in Middle Earth. My money's on the dwarves all day, every day. Unless there's a dragon. In which case, it's always bet on the dragon.
It's a smart bet. Speaking of dragons, I've gotten on a huge Skyrim kick again. It happens once every 6 months or so where I'm just like, what do I have scheduled for the next 3 days? Doesn't matter. Skyrim! Here I come!
I feel like Skyrim is the Netflix Office binge of the video game world. Right. Because everybody eventually comes back to it. It's like, I've got 6 games I haven't even installed. What should I play?
I know a lot of people...
let's start Skyrim again.
I know a lot of people would disagree. And in fact, there's actually a lot of games that I've played that I like more than Skyrim. But Skyrim's one of the greatest games of all times because it came out like 10 years, like over 10 years old. And I feel Bethesda, man, Fallout 76 does not make me hopeful for whatever they're doing with the next Skyrim. But I feel like I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate it because it feels like they're going to try to monetize anything they can because that's what games do now. They monetize everything. But if Bethesda was smart, here's what they would do with the next Skyrim. Is they would do everything they could to make it easy to mod that thing because the mod community has kept that alive. Because I'll get on my Skyrim kick and dude, like you just go find a bunch of mods that it's like this game is brand new again because of this feature or entire people have put together DLC size like 20-hour long entire new adventures and settings. And it's just, people that do it in their off time. It's insane. But having that kind of free developers, that kind of free user content support, like, dude, there's no way Skyrim would still be relevant if it weren't for that whole situation.
Right.
Plus, I'm added a couple mods to my jump, so now I can jump on top of houses and do some rooftop jumping stuff. It's pretty awesome. I was thinking about it. I was like, there's limitations to the system, but I was like, what makes Skyrim so awesome? It's like, well, because it's always the Skyrim theme, but it can basically be any game you want it to be. Somebody just has to have programmed it for you already. or you could figure it out yourself. But you could tell when Randy's in a Skyrim kick, because then he'll ramble on about Skyrim mods. Again, nobody cares, but it's okay. Melanie likes Skyrim, and she don't care when I do it either. She's like, okay, whatever. I'm like, did you play that mod? I installed a bunch of mods for you on your game. Did you play it? I forgot you even did that. I don't think I've ever played any of it. It took like hours to set up, but that's cool. That's cool. Paul said, I lost a week when Skyrim came out. Dude, I didn't even play Skyrim for honestly, till like 4 years ago. So it had been out for 7-8 years before I ever even played it once. You can Halo jump in Skyrim, and Paul cares. Well, thanks, Paul.
I didn't play Skyrim or Halo, so I don't get any of those references. Mostly because I know how time-consuming both games are.
In Fallout 76, what a disappointment that turned out to be. Because that was the one thing, like Fallout. Melanie would play Fallout because it's close enough. Actually, I think she played Fallout before Skyrim, but it was such a mess when it came out, and now like they've been struggling, and they're monetizing everything they can. Like they made it to where if you want a private server, if you want to play with just your friends, it's a monthly subscription now. Keep in mind this was a $60 game when it came out. Yeah. So I think the whole thing is like basically they really botched the launch. A lot of people lost interest right away because it was a mess and it was overly monetized. And now it's pretty much, if people are still around, they're like, well, those are the people that are going to stick around. So let's gouge them because they're probably not going to leave. So, yeah.
Makes me wonder about like Borderlands, because Borderlands you could play with your friends, no problem, that kind of thing. I mean, I feel like that's how it should work. But I don't know anything about Borderlands 3. I was totally into the Borderlands series, but then I found out that they had all these issues with some of the voice talent where they just weren't going to.
Oh yeah, okay.
Paid the guy who did it was that whole thing with Claptrap where they never paid that guy, and then. Then rather than actually do right by him, they just cut him from the series, basically. And so I don't know. Like that kind of killed any desire in me to go ahead and get the third game.
Well,
which would technically be the fourth game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and not talking about the developers, because the developers a lot of times are people get screwed in the whole deal with all these games anyway, but when because why would you want to support a company that's obviously like, well, you're just doing shady things. I don't want to give you my money.
Right.
I don't want to reward you for the shadiness, even if it's a potentially cool product. And that's, I do follow a lot of gaming news stuff. The microtransactions and the surprise mechanics, or AKA loot boxes and outright gambling and all that, like it's really gotten out of hand. And I'm very curious to see, I don't know, it's gotten out of hand, but at the same time, like people are still forking money over. And it's become a thing where a lot of game publishers don't ever want to go back, because it's like EA, loot boxes and the microtransactions, and basically it's the setting up the gaming as a service type thing, to where it basically just becomes another monthly bill you pay like everything else.
You buy a season pass, yeah,
exactly, season pass. Like I think it's EA, dude, that's like 20-something% of their revenue now. Like it's huge. It's just this thing that like a few years ago didn't really even exist. Right. They can't go back. They can't.
Well, it's mainly for those big companies too, like because you go into indie games and then you have like the opposite problem where it's like they can't afford to make the whole game, so instead of making the whole game, what they do is they just make episode 1. So you buy episode 1 so that they have money so they can make episode 2.
It's interesting because it's almost like the same type of model, but for different reason. They're like, we can only give you this much because then we run out of money. Whereas the other ones are like, we want you to give us more money, so we're only going to give you this much.
Right. Which is why, like, Bendy and the Ink Machine, it's like you can see how the game developed over time, because that first episode is pretty light. It's pretty lean, and that's even after they've remastered it a couple times. Like that first chapter of Bendy and the Ink Machine had changed at least 3 or 4 times.
And Bendy and the Ink Machine, that one's interesting because that was definitely like, I mean, I don't know what they ended up doing for money, but that became very successful because it was very popular for a time. So that's the like the positive side of that story, and then the other side is like where you get either a game that's just permanently in beta stage, or you get chapter 1 or episode 1, and then that's all that ever happens.
Yeah, and then it just crumbles. Yeah.
Let's see. Kids are forking money over. Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there's been a little bit of talk in the US about it, but it really hasn't been a big deal yet. But in Europe and other countries, the politicians are getting real involved in looking at basically gambling in these games, and the effects, trying to gauge whether the loot boxes and stuff like that are gambling. And in some cases, like in the games, it's just like literal slot machine. So it's like, yeah, it kind of is gambling. And so the game lobbyists, which it's crazy, but yeah, these companies are huge enough now. They have lobbyists are coming up with ridiculous, like it's not gambling, it's surprise mechanics. And then the other argument is it's not gambling because gambling is where you give over money in exchange for something, the potential to win something else of monetary value. And they're like, what you get in these games isn't of monetary value. I think if somebody's giving over money in exchange for the possibility to have this thing, that's the monetary value. It
has monetary value. Yeah.
But it's kind of becoming a big, like, almost political debate. It hasn't really hit I've heard a little rumblings in the US, but it hasn't hit here super hard yet. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a big thing in the gaming news right now.
One of the kids was telling me about how the Fortnite skins, and it's like, oh yeah. So I mean, like, there's that scarcity model. I mean, it's practically an economic model, the way that they roll out some of these in-game rewards. Like, you can only get this skin if you complete challenges that happened in this particular season of Fortnite, and if you unlock that, then that's an indication of your status within the game because you've been playing since season 2, and this skin has only is only available if you played in season 2 or whatever.
That was one thing. Like, they were talking about. Paul said, "Could you picture a Skyrim lobbyist in Washington in full dragon armor?" That would at least make it more interesting. That's what I want. No, they always look like every other lobbyist. Just as slimy and skeevy.
They can't wear armor because they would just stick to it with their slime.
Because armor doesn't stay on a snake.
It would rust their armor.
Dressed up as Mario.
You'd have to.
Nintendo getting into it too, and I don't think it's doing them a whole lot of favors. People are not thrilled about this newer Mario Kart mobile game. There's a Mario Kart on mobile phone now, and oh
wow,
they put a bunch
all microtransaction.
They put a bunch of stuff behind paywalls, like the faster carts and stuff, the faster circuits, and just different random stuff. Yep. People aren't thrilled about it.
Kind of flies in the face of what Mario Kart always was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Nintendo's a company like any other, so it's not surprising that they are going to try that route anyway, because it makes all the companies that do it massive money. But they're kind of beholden to their shareholders to do it. But
sure.
Like, they experimented with, was it Mario Run or whatever, the first mobile, which was a big deal because it's like Nintendo making a game for a not Nintendo platform. And they experimented. They didn't go the microtransaction route. They're just like, I think you could kind of play a limited version, or maybe I'm wrong, but it's basically $10. You just buy the game, like standard game. $10, you pay for it once, and you got the game. But apparently that wasn't good enough, and they started to microtransactions, and they had even said like they're like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to. That's dirty practices. We're not going to go microtransaction route, and then they immediately went microtransaction route.
Yeah.
Paul says his wife plays Mario Kart, I'm guessing. I feel like we're going somewhere with that, but you know what? It's getting late, and you probably got stuff to do, Jesse.
Oh, I am going to have to start winding down soonish.
At any time during these streams, you could be like, all right, well, I gotta wrap it up. Just so you know, I gotta get out of here. I don't care about your...
We got plenty of pimpage.
Tell us
to get
Tell
through
us
here.
about your pimpage.
Well, I mean, I already kind of talked about the Covert Nerd episode, which you already linked to in the chat. But if not, go check out Covert Nerd. You guys should subscribe to that anyways, because we're on there every once in a while. We know a lot of great people that are on there, and Lee's great on his own. So go check out the Covert Nerd podcast. Also, we've been kind of all over the place. Today, as we're talking, Jasper, an episode just dropped of this 60s reboot podcast, and Jasper, he's out there doing guest spots, man.
Right?
Talking about the Beverly Hillbillies on the 60s reboot podcast. That's crazy. I'm interested to hear what Jasper has to say about Clamp It.
You should. You should listen to it. Since I kind of produce it, associate produce. I don't know what my role is, but
it's it's a EMC podcast network exclusive.
Yeah, so
right?
I get to hear it before it goes out. All the 60s reboot episodes, and it was fun. It was interesting, and it is interesting. Because Jasper, for the most part, Grawlix Cinematic Universe, he co-hosts with me. That's the main show he does. I've never heard him on like any other show other than like Grawlix Podcast or something. So it was interesting to hear Jasper on another show on his own, doing his own thing. It was a pretty good episode. And they're talking about Beverly Hillbillies. So, it's a good time.
That has win written all over it.
And Jasper, so if future listener or viewer, if you don't know, Beverly Hillbillies is like, not Beverly, 60s reboot podcast. Matt D, they pick a 60s TV show and then recast it with modern television actors and basically do a pitch of like, how can we bring this into current TV, the current TV landscape. And Jasper's recasting was pretty good, I gotta say. There's a link in the chat for that episode.
We've been talking about we've been talking to Moose via the chat, and so I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Moose's Monster Mash, which is also an EMC podcast member, you should check his out. And he just recently did a interview with Count Crowley with the writer and artist, like two different people. He did an interview with them, and also did an episode with Billy Peck on Halloween, which I think you mentioned in an earlier episode, like an earlier live stream. But yeah, go check that out. He's making things happen.
There's another one
over there at the Monster Mash.
Sister's doing it for herself.
It's a graveyard smash.
Yeah, Moose's Monster Mash. You can also listen to that on electronicmediacollective.com. Yeah.
Keep it in line there. You most recently did a GCU. Well, I was on the most recent GCU.
You were on the most recent GCU. This is all very incestuous.
Now, can you dig it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. We need more listens on that episode because it deserves more listens. I feel like the Halloween...
It was a fun episode.
I think doing the Warriors is smart because it's not fully a Halloween episode. So listen, Halloween's over, but go listen to it anyway. Yeah, Jesse joined me and Jasper to talk about the Warriors and Murder Party, and it was a good time. It's a good time. The only people I think that are going to see these links in the chat are Paul, and he knows. But you can also find that at electronicmediacollective.com.
He may have even listened to these episodes already.
But
so.
you can also go to
They came out to play.
You can also go to grawlixpodcast.com, Grawlix podcast.com, and check out the Grawlix Cinematic Universe. And coming up this following week, Matt from 60s Reboot Podcast will be on Grawlix Cinematic Universe, and Jasper won't be. So I had to make fun of Matt. I was like, do you stole Jasper? How do you have an episode with Jasper and he's not on this episode? This is his show. But so next episode we're going to be talking about Jason X and Leprechaun 4 in space. The old switcheroo, that's right.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, it was interesting. I had way more to say about Leprechaun 4 than I should have. It's going to take quite a bit of editing on that one.
Did Jasper at least watch these movies, or did he just like use it as an opportunity to not?
Of course, we start to really hit the lower end of the horror spectrum, and that's when Jasper's like, I need to take a break. You just don't want to watch these movies.
Out. You need to ready a quiz for him for the next episode and just be like, so you were absent.
Any episode he misses, I'll be like, I expect you to watch these movies and we will quiz you. There will be a pop quiz when you get back.
we will quiz you because we're doing this because you said horror.
You picked horror. There will be questions. There will be a test.
Yep. And we're not grading on a bell curve.
And they are not multiple choice or true false. You're not that lucky. These are long form essay.
Nope. Yeah, we want an essay. With dates.
Cite your references.
Dates and places. Yeah. APA format. That's the format, right? APA? I don't know.
You would know better than I would.
Paul wants to know about Dr. Sleep because it's coming out this weekend.
Dr. Sleep, it's coming out this weekend.
I'm not sure that we were done with our pimpage. I don't know that we were done with our pimpage.
We weren't.
But, we were pretty close.
I'll refrain.
I'm like looking like I thought we got him.
Say, Paul, stop it! You're not on this episode.
How dare you keep us on track? That's not fair.
It. You're not on the. Melanie's not here either. We can do what we want.
We are off track. The future is yours if you can count.
And you dig it. No, you're right. I mean, Dr. Sleep, that's the big, in my opinion, that's the big movie coming out this weekend. That's the one that I'm interested about. I know there are reviews of it out there already. I don't really know how it's shaping up.
Stephen King likes it better than Kubrick, so.
Stephen King didn't like Kubrick's version. I put no stock in what Stephen King thinks of the movies that are made from his books because he likes the crappiest ones. His taste sucks.
He does. I think he was okay with The Dark Tower, and it was like, that was an awful movie. You were just lying to people.
He directed Maximum Overdrive. That's the one movie he directed. I put no stock in his opinion. Plus,
Ooh.
I get it though. I mean, this is starting a conversation almost, but I get it because Kubrick's version greatly deviated from the book. The Shining book was an inspiration for the movie, but it's not. It's a very inaccurate adaptation. So from that perspective, I get it. That said, I've seen the TV movie version with or miniseries with Steven Weber that Stephen King
or what?
Yeah, whoever. And that's what Stephen King's like, this is the more accurate. This is the good one. This is the one I approve of. And it's like, that's a bad movie though. It's not good. The more accurate version.
Right.
What works in a book doesn't always work on screen, Stephen.
Yeah. Him and his miniseries too, man.
I mean, the problem is it's just in the 90s it was a big thing though. The Stephen King TV miniseries, but the 90s TV miniseries anything never really turned out that well. They just didn't have the budget to do a lot of the things, and it's lower budget TV productions. It's just it didn't really work out that well most of the time. So It's not really a reflection of the story or even Stephen King's writing abilities, but I can judge him on his directing abilities. He still blames cocaine for that. Anyway, Dr. Sleep's coming out. I like the director of that quite a bit. I haven't heard rave things, but I haven't heard horrible things, so I don't know where people are sitting at it so far, but it officially opens tomorrow, the 8th, and I'm very curious about it. So
the trailer looks on point, so
yeah, I know. It kind of won me over, but then again, like it's a little bit of the it played to the Kubrick Shining version fanboy in me, so. Yeah. Like the director, he's got to be a fanboy of it too. So.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone there.
Exactly. Paul says, "I haven't read crap. I'm going in blank slate." Well, yeah. I'll look at reviews. I'll look at headlines. I can't really help but look at headlines, but I'll look at headlines. That'll kind of give me an idea of like where the general reviews are falling, but I'm not going to read the reviews. I rarely ever read a review of a movie that I'm actually excited for, just because I want to know as little as possible. Yeah.
But that's why I haven't even seen the new Tarantino movie. Is just like so many reviews, review bombed, So, and I do want to watch it, but I guess at this point I'm waiting because I kind of missed the boat.
You didn't listen to our GCU episode, did you? Of that? Of the...
I think I skipped the big thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you still not know really anything about it?
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I do know. I do know that it has like an Inglorious Bastard type of...
that sucks. That sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, that was my main thing. It's like, I don't care if you don't listen to this episode. If you haven't seen it, don't spoil it for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But...
No, I mean, like, it wasn't... I don't think I got that from you guys. I think that was just out there.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm surprised the internet kept it on lockdown for at least a couple days, but I couldn't imagine it was going to stick around too long.
No, because everybody, people, it's like people hadn't seen Inglorious Bastards. They're like, no, Tarantino does what he wants.
I'm Tarantino. I do what I want. I can't do a Tarantino voice.
Do what I want. Only he
can. I can't even do a Randy voice right now.
Got a really weird nasally thing.
All right. Well, let's wrap this. I don't have anything else to really promote. So, as usual, you can find more Grawlix Podcast stuff at grawlixpodcast.com and check us out on Twitter at Grawlix Podcast. Also, our sister, brother, daughter show that we do, Grawlix Cinematic Universe, which I also co-host. We talk about movies. You can find that on Twitter at GCU Podcast. Same website though, and electronicmediacollective.com. I'm also a podcast producer. Go to podedit.com if you need help with your podcast. Jesse, you have another podcast you do.
Turning Cartwheels Podcast. That's cartwheelpodcast.com. Cartwheelspodcast.com. You can find it. You can go to, where you can go? You can go to Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network and find it on there, and then you wouldn't even have to guess. You just don't even, like me, you don't have to know what your own website is.
You don't have to know anything. You just go.
No. And you should listen to that show. I can't remember why. Because it's a show that I do, and I talk about, mental health and that kind of thing. Sort of, I just got to talk about my life and how I'm good at it.
How you're good at it? See, on Grawlix Podcast, we get worked up about movie news and stuff that doesn't really matter. At least on Jesse's podcast, he'll tell you, you'll learn something about Jesse and about yourself.
Right. And sometimes it's dumb stuff like how I became a Power Ranger fan and why I have purple glasses and that kind of stuff. And other times it's about how like journaling and meditation has helped me.
Yeah, I mean,
You get a little bit of everything. It's weird.
It's more in the like kind of uplifting spirituality kind of vibe than anything that we do on Grawlix. So
Yeah. So it's weird to pitch it to the Grawlix audience, but you might find some nuggets in there.
It is, but I like. It's good though, because maybe Grawlix audience is like, they're like, tired of all this negativity. I want some positivity, or at least something real. Go check out Jesse's podcast.
after you listen to the Grawlix podcast, and you need to come back down.
Yes,
you have to process the rage that you have at CGI James Dean.
Yep.
Like, you've got to focus that somewhere. Journal about it. Just tell the book all of the problems that you have with James Dean.
All right, let's wrap this up. This is going on for a while. So thanks again, everybody. We'll be, I don't know, I'm assuming next week. Listen, this is all, we're playing it by ear. The live shows are all by ear.
It's an experiment. You are here for it.
And thanks, Paul, for listening and chatting us up this whole episode.
Yeah,
See, Paul, if you were on this episode, I bet you would have had far less to actually say, because that's how typing works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was going to say we're waving too, but we're on video, so you can see that we're not waving. I will actually wave. I'm so not used to the video thing. We could do visual things and have it matter. This is all I think to do then.
So we don't.
Nope.
So we don't. Like, I just randomly shoot a Zoolander at the camera and then go back to hiding behind my
I still have
microphone.
Halloween masks out. You know what? I think they're going to, that's just there now. It's not going away. It's always Halloween.
I've still got a Costner. Or that's the Costfar.
Get it right. All right. Bye, everybody. If you're watching this in the future, thanks for checking us out. We'll be back again, usually Thursdays. We'll see.
The future's fine, folks. The future's fine. Episode
What's left of
100. It'll happen. Maybe. If we let
The
it.
future's not very far away. Have you listened to you probably haven't checked out the latest, the best of Lunchbox Live I put up this week, I guess.
Yeah, no, I listened
There's
to
a
that.
little,
Yeah.
it's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense, but there's the future from the future. The future's not very, that cracked me up. Then I made that little like music. That's like a weird, like kind of sad version of the Grawlix theme that I did just for that little segment. Whatever.
Right, for the promo or
Ain't
whatever.
got time to record and edit a new episode, but I got time to make a whole new version of the theme for a 5-second clip in the intro.
You know.
That
Got to.
It'll
Got
pop
to.
up again somewhere. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good time. And life. We need to sign off.
And life. We don't have a sign off. We'll just salute. We salute you because it's video. It's happening right now. We're in the Twitchatron.